either.
Does.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
How are you?
you don't take over when we went live. Now we're live. I'm taking over. Afternoon, evening, night, ladies, gents. Happy Valentine's Day to all our members. I hope it was a good one. Welcome to this. I was going to say special edition, Valentine's Day edition, massacre, whatever you want to call it, of Mauls Balls and All. Everyone, welcome. With me tonight, I don't know where they are on the screen because I'm on my phone. I've Mr. Burke. I have Mr. Reed, and I have Mr. Martin, and myself, as always. Welcome. How's everyone?
Good evening to you, Blair. And good evening.
Amazing.
We all have a good Valentine's Day.
Fantastic. I got a new pair of underpants.
I watched some rugby anyway. That's what I was doing. I was off today, so I watched rugby.
You got what was that, Peter? You got new dental floss?
You got
No, I got a new pair of underpants.
You got new pair. Budgie smuggler ones? Or just normal ones?
Budgie smuggler ones, yeah. And it's a bit uncomfortable because the little lad is hanging out to one side now at the moment. So I think I might have to bring them back because they're a bit small, maybe. But although you can't bring them back.
Way too much information. I hope your name isn't Paul, is it?
Okay, ladies, I do apologise for that mental image that's probably scarred into everyone at the moment. A bottle of vodka.
You expect no less. You expect no less.
Yes, you expect no less. So we're going to start off with. I'm going to start off with is ticket allocations for the home games for the Six Nations. Now I know I personally am lucky enough to have tickets to all 3 home games. But
you go to every other all year round, so why shouldn't you?
Yeah, no, well, now mine was true luck and sheer luck and sheer ignorance. I will say my club actually did get an allocation, and they were pulled out to club members, and I did actually purchase them through a club. So join your local rugby club if you want to try and get tickets. So I'll start with Peter Burke. Ticket allocations for the Six Nations. Well, not only for Six Nations, ticket allocations for the IRFU in general for home games.
I mean, it's changed a lot over the years. I remember when I started going to games back in the mid to late 80s, into the 90s, it was easier, is the perception, to get tickets for games. I think, and I know why this is brought up, because I think Jack Conan said it, that they were aware of the lulls in the cheering in the crowd. And I put up a post about it, something like, IRFU, because you make sure that, genuine fans get tickets as opposed to the corporate day outs. Now, this is a multifaceted thing. There's not one answer to this, because on one side of it, the clubs need money. The IRFU needs money. They were hammered. Everyone was hammered by COVID. They couldn't sell any bloody tickets. They're probably still a bit of a hangover after that. But it just seems, to me and to the general, a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people in the group and people I've spoken to, that there are, excuse me, there seems to be more tickets going to, as someone said, at the prawn sandwich brigade, the corporate day outs, the selfies, for their Instagram. Look where I am. The need to be seen at the Aviva, at the big games like the New Zealand and England games, this sort of thing. There's just that perception. Now, how true that is, I don't know, but certainly the atmosphere in the Aviva. Now, it was a Sunday game. Sunday games can be quieter than Friday night, Saturday evenings, 5 o'clock kickoffs, that sort of thing. So I don't know how true. I don't know how true it is. But although you said, Claire, you said here a few weeks back that the clubs got fuck all allocation of tickets.
Yes.
Now, I don't, if that's a generalization or
they've cut the allocation for clubs. They have cut the allocation for clubs.
Now, okay, and I'll finish on this, but the clubs have to get money from somewhere. Whether it's a raffle, if they get 2 tickets for a Six Nations game and they raffle it off, and they have to get money from somewhere. But I do firmly believe there has to be a balance of genuine fans getting tickets and, people who go to games just to get that feckin' selfie. They take the selfie and then they're back up to the bar and they spend the whole time at the bar looking at the game on the screen, and there's empty seats and all that. So, but there has to be a balance somewhere. Anyway, there you go.
Cool. Sorry, just I'm not cutting across you. This thing, genuine fans. Okay, this is and God's baby is what determines what a genuine fan is. And
games. Go and watch club games. Go and watch whatever. You know, I don't know. You've been genuine fan of rugby.
I'll let Pete go on. Go on, Pete.
Mr. Martin, what do you think? Like, did you, people that say genuine fans, like, what determines what genuine fan would be for the like? That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, well, I suppose you've got two kind of, I suppose, demographics. Perhaps I'm being broad here to avoid offending anybody. You've got your genuine fans. You've got guys who basically, and I would consider myself one of them, who played the game and supported Ireland when we were shite. Yes. And we're still supporting, and we feel we know the game, we've inherent, it's in our blood, blah, 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 blah. You've got that type of fan. Then you have new arrivals into the game, insofar as people who've perhaps got kids who've taken up the game at club level, and the parents are sucked in with the passion. The kids are absolutely having an absolute whale of a time. Brilliant. And the parents are kind of going along with the flow. It's a way, they're riding the wave of the enthusiasm. God love them. They're probably, some of them probably being volunteered. They rock up, to a training session with their kids for the first time, and a month later they're fucking taking the training session. Stuff like that. But in a nice way. They're getting involved. They're learning about the game. They're getting enthusiasm. They see the passion. And of course, everybody wants to back a winning team. So they're in with that. But they're genuine. They want to find out more about the game. They're just intrigued by the intricacies, the laws of the game, as opposed to the rules, as where every other sport has. They're just caught up in the general, the bonhomie, on match days. They go on to 1 or 2 matches and they think, this is lovely. It's a great crack. There's you go to, I was at the Italian match there last weekend, and there's a good buzz. There's no nasties. There's not the kind of potential hostility that would be perhaps at a soccer match. And people say, some people are kind of saying, well, I think I like that. I want to go, and I don't want to, don't want to be around any hostility or belligerence or whatever the case may be. They're the two types of fans, I think, that you have out there. Then you have somebody who basically just goes along for the crack, who's basically the +1, hasn't a fucking ball of the game, and is there, and they'll just basically kind of do their own thing. They'll look around, and like that, as Peter Burke said, the selfies, and they'll be talking and chatting about 7 shades of shite about something else, and not related throughout the game, not related to the sport whatsoever, and are just basically just there they may as well be a blow-up doll, for all they're there. They're just there, but they're not really they don't really care. They don't care any less. They're just there. Oh, Jesus, Johnny got me a ticket. I'm coming along for the crack. See what this rugby buzz is about. There's an element of that as well. And then you probably have the corporates who are, they're there because of ABC Limited has got me tickets, and it's great. So that's my tuppence worth. I could be totally wrong, but that's.
No, I think you're bang on. But Claire, I'm sorry, Claire. I'm just gonna just a comment there, Claire. Unfortunately, that is realistically for everything, Peter, even outside of sports, other events, always bring in fake fans, concerts, etc. It's all the same. Just one more, Claire.
Megan, that's from Megan. Thank you, Megan.
Okay.
Yeah, Megan. Yeah. And this is Dara West.
Okay, it's the club selling tickets to the prawn selfie brigades because a lot of clubs need the money, and these agencies will pay a premium. True. My father-in-law's club sold their tickets for 9 years for a travel agency who organised visiting corporate entertainment. That is endemic, I think, in that. Sorry, Claire, go on.
And then just Dara made another comment there. Clontarf got same number of tickets this year as last year, so maybe certain divisions have had their allocations go. I know it does go on your ticket allocation based on where you are, and I also know that this season ticket holders for Leinster go into a draw. I have been lucky in the past to win tickets or to get tickets for Six Nations, etc. through the draw. I suppose, as they say, it's the luck of the draw. Then the next thing, if people are lucky enough to get tickets, are the costs now prohibitive? Okay, for my I'll go from my point of view. I live in Dublin, so if I'm traveling to the Aviva, I have my train. My train is, I think it's €3.20. I think it's €3 to get the commuter service from Maynooth into the Aviva, and it's €2 for my bus fare home. Okay, that's my whole travel thing. Then whatever the ticket costs on top, I think it was €75 for a Category 3 ticket for the Italy game on Saturday. Then you have your Ticketmaster charges, which was £65. Then obviously you go into the Aviva, you're paying. They're a business, but they're charging $2.50 for a packet of potato. They're charging $3.20 for a bottle of a small 500ml bottle of Coca-Cola. It's $7.50 for chips with a tiny bit of curry sauce. So, like, are they now becoming prohibitive? Are IRF pricing themselves out of it? And if you have, I know James travelled up with his, I don't know if he was with his father. I know James travels up a couple of times. Peter, I don't know if you were with adults or children, but if I had 2 kids and I was going to a game at that price, it would be a very expensive day out.
Well, I can tell you, Claire, if you don't mind me jumping in.
No,
every time I've been for the last number of years, I've gone to the Viva for the Leinster matches. We avail of the club and country thing where it's I don't want to digress too far off the point because I'm going back to the Leinster matches as well. But my point I think is still relevant. And the first time I went, it was a number of years ago. Leinster were playing Northampton. It was the first time I was only just started with the club. It would be basically 5 years ago, and I went up with myself and Callum, my eldest, went up, and both arms the same length, coat, jacket, scarf. That was it. And I said, we'll get a bit to eat up in Aviva. I'm going to say, express my opinion that the food, the catering in Aviva is absolute shite.
Yes,
absolute shite. So much so now that my 11-year-old, he won't eat anything up there. He thinks it's crap. So what we do is we get the rucksack, couple of rolls, crisps, bars, fizz. That's what we do. And when I brought my father up last Saturday, on Sunday to the Italy match, I had the exact same thing. I had sandwiches and the whole lot in the bag because the food out of the Viva is muck. It's cardboard, reheated rubbish. Plus, the price of it is an absolute disgrace. Don't get me wrong. If there's a nice, sirloin beef with sandwich with onions and a bit of mustard, whatever like that, and it's good quality, and they're charging €80. Yeah, job done. Take my money. But I'm not going to start biting into something that at full time I'm still eating because I can't fucking chew it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going there. So don't get me wrong.
Right.
I will buy the drink up there, but I'm not going to buy any food out of Viva. I can tell you that.
Well, it's the chunk of £100, Claire. Pete.
Well, my as I said now, and I'm lucky that I live in Dublin. As I said, my bus train fare at maximum was about £6-7 plus £75 for the ticket. So you're talking that's €82. Yeah. Without so much as buying a bottle of Coke, bottle of whatever else. You know what I mean? So is it that? I remember a couple of years ago going to the Fiji game, and I think the tickets were like $12.50.
Yeah.
Something like so. Are they pricing themselves out of the market? Mike, do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I do. Even though I don't live in Ireland and I don't go to games in Ireland anymore. I mean, I have been, and I started going in the 70s, and I was paying £2 for a ticket, and you couldn't give them away. I remember going to a game, in fact, once, and I had 6 tickets, and I gave them away in the Palace Bar in Dublin. The lads that were meant to go with me wouldn't go because we got fucking whitewashed the same year, early 80s, and but for me to go to a game now, I had no problem. I was going to Murrayfield 2 or 3 times. I'd go to maybe all the Six Nations games. It was easy to get tickets back when Scotland were absolute garbage. See the costs, the price of success, by the way, is everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, and you get people. But I really feel sorry for you guys because I know you're all genuine rugby fans. I've been going for 45 years or longer. And I've been to a one game every. This is the first year I won't have been to a 5 or 6 Nations game since 1977 because I'm not physically able to go now. My 2 hips are absolutely fucking goosed. Oh no, I didn't go in lockdown year. That was the only year I missed.
No one went in the lockdown years.
No, I know that was the reason I didn't go. But I feel sorry for people who can't, and I do. I have to agree with Jack Conan that like even on the television it was noticeable how bloody poor that atmosphere was there. I mean, you guys were at the game. You'll be able to say. And like we're comparing it to the game in Marseille. It was total polar opposites. And some people were complaining about booing going on during the kicks and stuff in Marseille, which I don't approve of. But strangely enough, Jack nailed all his kicks in Marseille, and he didn't with the silence in Lansdowne. So I don't know, lads. I don't know what the solution is. Genuine fans should be the priority, but then you have to have corporate to pay for the events and pay for what we're all enjoying. You know, like it costs a lot of money to run the organizations and run all the clubs. So it's a bloody double-edged sword. Like it's very difficult to get it right. But it's a shame that people are going to games that have absolutely zero interest in the sport, and they're there with their taking selfies and nonsense.
There's a comment there on screen from Darrell Weston. Well, I think it's on screen. I can see it. Genuine fan, someone who goes to club games and turns up at the RDS Sports Ground, Ravenhill, Thomond on a wet, rainy Friday night, sitting on a terrace, getting drowned, watching Sebre play their province. That will be me on Saturday with like probably against their 5th string team coming out. That's what it will be. I know a lad who couldn't name 2 rugby in Dublin, but gets tickets for every single home Irish match through his dad. He's not what I'd call a genuine fan. Now, sorry, just a comment that's on screen. Don't know who's saying it. Is that a Castor software?
Yeah, it is. It was a Christmas present. Yes, get over it. Jesus.
No, he bought himself. Right, I'm going to change the whole. I had a layout in my head. Going to scrap it completely and go. We're going to start. I'm going to start with the Ireland Italy game, right? Seems that we've led into the Ireland Italy game.
Yeah.
What do we think of how it went? Right, we'll start off with that little young lad singing. Like I can't have it anymore. Like there was like my room was going babies. You know what I mean?
No, he was brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I saw people. I don't think anyone had anything bad to say about him, except that Twitter thing, Claire, that we won't talk about. I think, you know, and people said he was man of the match, you know, in jest, and he was, and fair fucking play to him. He stood up there in front of 52,000 people. How old is he? 8 or 10? Is he, or whatever he is? It was fantastic. He was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know, he would have brought a tear to your eye, you know, looking at him. And fair play to that young man. Stevie Mulrooney. Good man, Stevie. Well done.
Stevie. I think he should come most of the home games and sing. Peter, what do you think? You're Mr. Peter Martin, sorry. Because you were in the stage. Did you feel the whole? Yes,
it was marvelous. Like basically, I would say the atmosphere basically ended when he stopped singing, because he got everybody singing. I thought everybody around me was given Ireland's call and our Naveen a belt. Look, what can you say? I think it was a nice a fantastic touch by the IRFU, a very good idea getting them in to sing it. It shouldn't be the last time he's asked up. Look, hey, Andy Farrell was massively impressed with him as well. So, you know, and like it's amazing. Like, you know, you could basically spend money trying to get you know, open the wallet and trying to get someone with a bit of, I suppose, a bit more celebrity about him to sing the national anthem, and that would cost whatever. But like they got a little boy who's a fan and who would have. You know, I can only imagine his reaction when he was asked or told, whatever way they arrange it, would you sing the national anthem? I'd say he would do it every day of his life, almost.
Pete, he got a video message. Sorry, Pete, for the interruption. He got a video message from Josh van der Fleer asking him to sing the national anthem. Yeah, he did. Josh, the IRFU set it all up. Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Fucking class. Love it. That's the way to do it.
The whole world is actually talking about it. It's not just in Ireland.
Yeah.
The whole world is talking about how good. And do you know something? Ireland's call gets slaughtered a bit, and it's not probably the best anthem ever. But it's all right. We should embrace it. Do you know what? It's what we sing for our national team. But that young fella, by the way, the hair was standing on the back of my neck. I could not believe it. I did see him when he was on the Late Late Show, and funny enough, singing it as well. And I thought, oh my God! And if you had anything negative to say about that performance, there's something seriously wrong with you. But wonderful, absolutely amazing. Credit,
Claire, just a few comments there, Claire, just to get through, because there's a few coming in. I am what you'd call an armchair fan. Also, am a new fan to rugby, but I do agree with Claire. It's the financial side of it that is so difficult. Careful now, Peter Martin. It's a slippery slope from bringing your own Sambos, ending up at Croker instead of Lansdowne.
Yeah, that's where I put the LGA picnic.
Yeah. Just a few more here, Claire. He was absolutely fabulous. Loved it so much. Presume that's Stevie. I want him to be there for the Wales game and Scotland game. And just one more, Claire. If I just show this one. That young lad should do the anthem at every game, pure passion, and not doing it to sell his latest CD, etc. He'd bring a tear to a glass eye. There you go. Right, Claire.
Just a comment on that to Megan. Megan says she's only getting into rugby. That's fine. You will become an avid fan, because everyone started, just to what Peter was saying, to what Peter Martin was saying instead. I wasn't always a rugby fan. I only became a rugby fan because, and my son still is now 25, and he just say to me, Matt, I created a monster when I started playing rugby, because he didn't realise that I would get so involved in it. So everyone has to start somewhere, and we're not disputing that people have to start somewhere as a fan. I think what we were trying to say was that it's the prawn sandwich brigade. Right,
I'm going to move on. Claire, is Dom any use? Is Dom any use as a player? Seriously.
Yes.
Now, I know he's probably watching this, but seriously, Dom, is he any good?
No, yeah, he is. He's good. He's good. Come to you.
He's got a slice there, Paddy Claire.
No, that's it. I mean, I'm going to start with the rugby that was played on Sunday. Ireland, was it that Italy didn't turn up, considering how close they were the previous week against England? Mike Reedy.
I think it's a combination of factors. Italy were absolutely dreadful, no question about it. They didn't even venture into our 22 in the entire game. That's embarrassing. And Ireland were good. I'm not going to say we were a long way from being perfect, but we were good. We were accurate to a point, but we dropped balls, and like, had we been accurate enough, like we had 3 tries chalked off basically, which rightly chalked off as it has to be said. But we could easily have put 50 points on them or more, and they were abject. But Ireland were good without being great. We were good. We were efficient. I mean, Crowley is working his way into that jersey. His kicking was off par. That'll be okay though, because he was perfect, almost perfect in Marseille, so he can do it. I'm not concerned about that. Some people seem to be. I thought Casey had a grand wee game. His kicking from hand wasn't on point all the time. We had no defensive kicking to do, He had not one defensive kick in the entire game, because we were hardly ever in our own half. Now, he had a couple of little things over the top. One of them, Hugo Keenan ran into him. That's when he got injured, in fact. I thought Lowe was good. I thought there wasn't one bad performance from any player really, and we were good. We were good,
but Italy were just a hell of a lot worse.
Oh, they were.
If you look the previous week against England, or is it that England are just shy?
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Still remains to be seen. I don't dismiss anybody, until we play him.
Mr. Martin, what do you think? Was it just that Ireland are good, or Italy were just shy? Or a bit of both?
I think it's probably Well, Italy were missing, they're missing 2 out of their 3, but their main back row.
Yeah.
Negri is a massive loss, as was Canone, their number 8. They're both ball carrying threats. Italy they struggled on the physical side of it. They struggled really to kind of, I think maybe their props aside, they didn't have anybody really that would tuck the ball on and kind of try to punch holes in the Irish team. So like it's a case that Italy need to have all their main players fit and firing, and a bit of momentum with them in order before they can have a real kind of impact on the game they're playing. I think it was like we were just clicking superbly. I just wanted to correct Mike. He said that he didn't think Italy had any entries into the 22. I think they had 2. I read it. Someone they actually managed to get 2 in the entire game. One of them was a run by Capuzzo. I think he was hauled down by a brilliant tackle by Keenan.
Yeah.
But the notable thing about the 22, they came away with something. That was, I suppose, and I think that's what Farrell would have pleased Farrell. Was our efficiency in the kill zone and the red zone. The scoring zone was absolutely superb. Yes, it was against Italy, but it has to come from somewhere. Getting that efficiency has to come. Get that level of efficiency has to come from in some game. So look, if it's the Italy game, it's the Italy game. I thought it was notable as well. The way I love my stats. The top 10 tacklers from that game, every single one of them was Italian. The top Irish tackler was Doris, I think, with 7 or 8 tackles. Every other, like Canone, the other Canone brother, who played in the second row, he had 22 tackles in the game. So that's a tackle almost every 4 minutes. So and Ruzza, his like the two Italian second rows, they didn't. There was fuck all second lineup ball for them. So all they did was basically hit bodies throughout the whole game, putting Irish jerseys on the deck. That's all they could do. There's not an awful lot else really to say. Like big Stu had a great game. Casey had a great game. Crowley continues to develop and improve. It's Lowe. I think Lowe showed a little bit more in the way of the physical side, getting his hands on the ball and the way he played the game. Because normally, you see the ball going from right to left, heading out towards his wing, and it's almost a little bit predictable in that when he gets the ball in his hands, the left boot comes up and it goes downfield. But he played a little bit more with ball in hand for me, and he got physical. Getting in, because he is a strong man, taking his try. So nothing else to say really.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Burke. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Wake up. Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the look, Italy are a tier 2 team playing in a tier 1 competition. It's as simple as that. As I said here a couple of weeks back, in the 24 years they've had the wooden spoon 18 fucking times, and 13 of those they didn't win any games. Like, listen, something has to be done. I mean, they couldn't, as Pete said, and they had no fucking answer. And your man, David Corkery said, he wrote an article that Ireland have just way too much skill for Italy to bother them. And then people were saying in the group, oh, it's a bit of respect towards the Italians for everyone saying, oh, it'll be 46-10 and 30-0 and all this. Excuse me. It was they're just being fucking honest. Italy are fucking rubbish, right? They really are. And it just goes to show you how average England are as a team. Now, I know England are going through a bit of a transition and they're trying to get bits and pieces together. It'll be another year or two before England get that together. But like to nil a team in a tier 1 competition, not even a fucking penalty did Italy score. For I think the first time in their history against us, I think that happened. Right, that's fucking crazy. You can't. It's Italy are not fit for purpose in the Six Nations, and it's as simple as that. And as soon as something is done about it, World Rugby need to find another team that can compete. Like Italy against England, that was their game. It was mentioned here last week or the week before, whatever it was. That was their only game that they're going to be good at in this Six Nations. They came within 3-2, whatever it was, points of England. And that's it. I mean, they look, in my view, and I've said it before, and I'm not proud of it. Italy shouldn't fucking be there. And I just anyway, that's on that point. And then James Lowe, yeah, he had a great game, Pete. I agree with you. He had 150 meters carries, 150 meters gained. He had 11 carries. He had 1 turnover. He scored that try that he had no right to score. He had about 3 or 4 Italians on him, hanging out of him, and he managed to get over the line. Stu McCluskey had a great game. Crowley had a good game. Joe Mack had a great game. An underrated game, but what Joe McCarthy does, he does the simple things fucking right. Burst the line. He goes after players, and it's appreciated and it's seen. He does all that hard work, Joe McCarthy, and he never fails to not impress me. I think he's a class player.
Say one thing about Joe McCarthy. Shout out to the man that was sitting behind me in block 527 on Sunday. That was like so in love with Joe McCarthy. As I said, it's a Joe-mance, not a bromance.
Did you feel some hot ice cream on the back of your neck?
No. The fella behind us was just like, I actually think he does be in. I actually think he does be in the RDS for some reason.
I think that went over our head.
I think so. Yeah.
No, it didn't. It's just trying to keep the tone.
Literally went over our head.
That was the pun now as well.
Hold on. Okay. Decorum, people, decorum. Right. Speaking of Italy being shy, have you seen who they called up?
Who? Fucking Sideshow Bob. Who?
Louis Lina.
Louis Lina from Quinn. Yeah.
Called him up.
Yeah.
Italy.
Italy. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough.
Have they got fucking 15 more of them to call up?
Well, his dad played with Zebra, didn't they? For a number of years, and
his dad's Aussie and his mom's Italian, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, but he was born. He was born in Italy.
Italy only have one playmaker in their team, and that's your man, fucking Cappuccino, right? He's their only playmaker. The rest of them are tacklers, and they do their job, and that's it. He's the only guy, and he's fucking wasted on that team. He should have been born in fucking France or here, although he was
actually
Argentina.
He was actually French born.
Yeah,
he should come over here, and he might
born in Argentina.
Yeah,
wherever he's born. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, and then Steve, this is right. I know you're all saying about James Lowe. What do we think of the trip on him? The was it as blatant as they made out with the sticking the foot out of the trip?
Cynical.
So should it been red or yellow? If it was that cynical and trying to take him out, should it been red or yellow?
No, just yellow. There's never a red card. Yellow card. It's a standard yellow card in any rugby match.
Yeah.
No. Okay. And now just back to okay, I've totally lost my notes have just gone thrown out the window because I don't know where I am now at this stage.
Scotland, France. Or whatever.
No, hold on. I want to do one more. I want to do Scotland, France next. But the injuries, injury sustained to Hugo Keenan, which it hasn't been confirmed, but they reckon he will miss next week's match, possibly the England match, and may have a chance of being back for the Scotland game. Who do we have as a backup 15? Peter Burke.
Frawley would be my answer. So you've Crowley at 10, start Frawley at 15, and put probably one of the Burns on the bench. Do your 5-3 split.
Which one would you put on the bench?
Neither if I could choose, but probably beggars can't be choosers. I don't know, probably put Harry there. If I don't know if Ross is still injured.
He's not right yet.
They reckon Ross might be back for Saturday's game against Treviso in the RDS. I read that.
Start Crowley at 10, put Frawley in a fullback, and Harry Byrne on the bench. What's the crack with Jimmy O'Brien? Is he still injured?
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Nations apparently.
But did you not see what? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Mike Reedy.
We have a couple of options, really. I mean, Frawley is is. I just can't know what they don't see in Frawley the height. Well, I certainly see. To me, he's Leinster's best 10 as far as I'm concerned, and he can't. Leinster are not playing him. He came in he didn't do much wrong. He didn't do it wasn't on for very long in Marseille, but he didn't do anything wrong. How was he not in the squad for the game at the weekend? That concerns me a little bit. Now there's something he's lacking something in training or something when he's not getting picked by coaches that are watching him every day. So I don't know what it is now, and I'm not sure if any of you guys do, but he's the natural choice to go in at full back. So, and if not, I mean, I don't know if James Lowe could play there. Certainly young Nash could probably play there and bring Larmour onto the wing. We have options, you know. I'm not concerned about it at all, and it's something that probably needs to happen, you know, because the hand might be forced now, and Hugh Keenan is an exceptional player, absolutely exceptional. There's no better fullback in the world, no question for me anyway. He has the full package. He has everything you would want from a player, and it's a hard act to follow. But you know, something, our hand has been forced, and maybe that's what needs to happen, just to have something to back him up. Because if he goes out for a tournament or something like that, what do? We have no options. It's Johnny Sexton's story all over again. So it needs to happen. Let's see what we can have. We won't be. We're not going to be dependent on. I mean, Scotland were forced in to bring a young guy that has only played 13 matches in his life, and he was absolutely brilliant, young Patterson, on Saturday. I'm not concerned at all. Somebody will come in there and do a good job.
Yeah. Mr. Martin, what's your take on it? What do you think? Are we relying too much on one fullback in Keenan that we're not developing anyone else? Is it time to bring Zebo back from retirement?
No, fuck off.
I wanted to see his reaction to that.
Zebo is stepping up his recovery from his surgery, so we won't see him yet. I'd say that they'll just play it safe, and they might just give the jersey to Frawley at 15. Personally, I don't think it's the right thing to do, because it's what's happening at Leinster is being by the looks of things is being replicated potentially at national level, which I'm not 100% sure that's a good thing. Obviously, stand to be corrected on it. But I would have said that they'll probably give the jersey to Frawley. Barring that, they might actually just say, do you know what? There's Jordan Larmour. Give him the 15 jersey and see how he goes. He hasn't played a whole. I don't think Larmour has played very little rugby at 15. You know, since he first burst onto the scene, like when he was, you know, regularly playing full back for Leinster. In, you know, if Keenan wasn't available, he'd regularly step in. But that doesn't seem to. That seems to. The thought process and how they see Larmour has changed. They see him, I think, basically as an out-and-out wing now, rather than as a fill-in fullback, or a guy who can play fullback as well as wing. Granted, he did step in when at outside centre when Robbie Henshaw went off there, but look, that was just for minutes more than anything else. Look, we'll just wait and see.
Claire, just a few comments to clear there, Claire. Sorry, just before we go. Go to the away games, as I can't get tickets for home games. Marseille was cracking. As for the kids singing on Saturday, on Sunday, fantastic. Very good. You are a part of the rugby family now, Megan. You are indeed. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate that. I don't know what
that's from Megan, because I told her the thing I gave.
Yeah. Cheers, Greg. I love it so much. Sorry, hold on. One more there, Claire. Jack will get better. Give him time. Oh,
you're going through the conversation.
There's fucking loads coming in here. I hope Hugo gets better. We'll end on this, Claire, and I'll let you go.
Okay, boys.
In fairness to Italy, they were missing Negri and one or two others. They've reopened the throw them out of the Six Nations debate again, but I think it genuinely shows the gap between us and the other teams in the championship. Sorry, go on, Claire. There you go. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to move on to what was originally going to start with, but I changed my mind because I went off on a tangent as usual. Scotland versus France. This is the game, right? First thing I'm going to talk about is what's his name? Antonio, and the front, that dude that goes over the shoulder all the time. his yellow card, is he a hindrance to the French team? Because I think that's like every third or fourth game he gets yellow carded.
But he does it for La Rochelle as well, Claire. I think he's had 2 or 3. He's had 2, like, he's a New Zealander, Claire. I mean, this is, you know, in their bones. It's in their DNA. So I mean, he has form. Sure, he did it to us. Remember the tackle on Herring in the Six Nations last year? You know, same thing. So yeah, I would safely say he's a liability. Really, he genuinely is. I mean, every 4th, 5th, maybe 6th game. Look, I was looking at his stats earlier. He gets carded, or he gives away stupid fucking penalties because the man is just. I don't know what the fuck is he fucking. Is there something not clicking upstairs or something? I don't know. I mean, you know, there was fucking teammates call him bungalow. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, I don't know. He's a liability. Anyway, there you go.
Thank you, Pete Martin.
Yeah, look, it's pretty apparent he's not the most dynamic player. So, yeah, look, he's obviously got issues bloody getting himself low for tackles and so on. Is he a liability? Probably is. Like, don't forget, we did score a try that, you know, when we took advantage of his lack of mobility, lack of dynamism around the ruck. We did that starter play against, you know, the Hugo Keenan try last year, and it was all because there was a gap open up around Antonio around the ruck. So look, yeah, I think he is. I think he is. To be honest, he's like, he holds up a scrum, and you have to ask. There's nothing else really that he does do. You know, for France, he's Cyril Boy is a very dynamic prop, good set of hands, and gets about the pitch. Antonio just basically, I think he's got one heel stuck on the ground and he just rotates almost. Yeah. That's how mobile he is. So look, you know, he's as we saw, as Andrew Porter said in the Netflix documentary, he's a fucking big man. He is. So he has his use. He's got his size at scrum time, and he does, you know, he'll earn his corn, you know, in the tight in that regard with his heft. But that's he's limited.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. You have the same opinion of the rest of us.
He's an absolute liability. I think it's almost endemic for French now. Look at Willemse against those 2 stupid tackles. He didn't even learn, like, when he gets 1 yellow card. So they had last year in the Scotland game, that other prop that came in to replace him when he got sent off against us. They had a guy that came in to replace him, and he got a red card against Scotland for the same fucking lunging in with no arms. And, like, you know, it's endemic of the French game. It appears. So he's bringing absolutely nothing to France. Nothing. He's like, they have so many better props, guys that offer a lot more than just fucking holding up a scrum. That's an important facet of the game for them. But they have guys that are capable of doing that and a lot more. He's not bringing anything to him. Nothing that does. I'd be if they can't get somebody better than him, they'll be winning nothing. It's as simple as that. That's the way I see it anyway. Yeah. That's my tough report on him anyway.
I'm going to get to the now infamous talking point from this game. The 82nd minute or 80 whatever minute on the clock. Was it or was it not a try? And dudes, we need a couple of things. Was it a try or was it not a try? And the next thing was it down to the wording of how the ref said it, or how the ref put it to? Because everyone was blaming the Irish TMO, but was it?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So we go to the double first one on that. Was it or was not a try? Peter Brooks.
No, it wasn't.
Answer.
It wasn't a fucking try. 2 things. One, and the most important thing was that the ref blew the whistle when the ball hit the boot. Right. After that, everything is irrelevant. The ref blew his whistle, and then it just so happened after that the ball was touched down. Right. Secondly, yes, the ref asked the wrong question. He said, as we all know, my on-field decision is no try. The TMO Brian McNeice had to have convincing and overwhelming evidence that to overturn that decision. What the ref should have asked, if he was in any doubt, was try or no try. And that's what he should have asked. But it's irrelevant because he blew his whistle before the ball. He blew the whistle when the ball was on the player's foot. And that's what he said held up. So anything that happened after that, it's fucking immaterial. So get over it. For fuck's sake, it wasn't a fucking try. End of.
Okay. Thank you for your Mike Reedy.
Well, exactly what Peter Burke just said. First and foremost, the reason that Nick Berry didn't give the try was because he couldn't see a grounding. He cannot genuinely award a try unless he sees a grounding or the linesman. He left it to the TMO. He said, I have to call it. I can't see a grounding, so I can't award a try. So therefore, it could not be proved thereafter that there was a ground. Listen, there's all sorts of things. There's this fucking still shot of a ball. You can't clearly see it on the ground. You still can't, and you can't see it where it is on the ground. That could have been come back. What put it on the ground? Was it a French hand? Was it a fucking was it the same Scottish hand? Was it lost? Control of the ball lost in that melee? Couldn't be given. Sorry. Listen, I wanted Scotland to win the game. I live in Scotland, and I wanted Scotland to win the game. But they didn't. The bottom line is they didn't deserve to win that fucking game. Neither did France either. It was an absolute disgrace the second time.
I think in the group chat we were all saying that no one deserved to win that game because they were both try. Yeah. Peter Martin, what's your take on the try, no try?
Yeah, well, just basically echoing what Peter said. Like, I thought Berry handled it very well insofar as within the rigors of the law that surrounds it. Like, that has to be clear. Like, he's made his decision that there's no try. Now he's looking to see if there's he's looking to see if there's a reason to overturn it. Brian McNeese couldn't see a thing. It wasn't anyway in the anyway clear. So it wasn't a try. I do think, however, that there's far too much noise being made over this, and I think any genuine Scottish rugby fans should be looking towards their number 10 as to why they lost that game.
Lovable Finn Russell. Because
we've got 2 games now, and I think this is a serious question, and I think Townsend's arse is out the window on this, and I double dare any Scottish fan to correct me on this, is that you've got for the 2 weeks, 2 games in succession, right? They won 1 game and they lost 1, and the spread of the total points is 5 points, so it's a try, an unconverted try. You mean to say that you have a guy who's there at their 10 who's supposed to be their captain? He is the sole reason why they're in the predicament they're in. He's the sole reason for it. Against Wales, they stopped playing. Wales threw the fucking kitchen sink at them, and we all saw all the stills of his blowing puff in his cheeks and the eyes and the whole lot. Finn Russell doing all that bullshit kind of facial expressions. And now he's basically he was the very man who's probably up front and center whinging about the refereeing decision. It's on fucking you, Finn. You don't know how to control a game. You don't know how to. That French team were within 4 points, were within a score for so long in that second half, and instead of just getting the ball and booting the skin off it down the pitch, why didn't you get your pack to engineer a bit of territory, get your pack in position, and basically look to work to win some penalties from French indiscipline? Because the France were conceding them. All they do is just put the bit of a screw on. It doesn't have to be pretty rugby. All they had to do is win a couple of penalties inside their own half. Finn Russell boots it over. It's 6 points plus the balance. What happens? We saw what fucking happened.
Kickball.
So it's down to Russell. He's an absolute fucking spoofer. He's a cod and he's a fake as an actual. His game management skills out the fucking window. The only jersey Finn Russell is fit to wear is, no offense to them, but the Barbarians jersey, where it doesn't matter a shite if there's there's nothing at stake. It's just there. It's champagne rugby. It's there pure entertainment. Forget about winning rugby, Finn, because you don't have it. He doesn't have it.
Tell us how you're
he's not. No, but he's not. He's not a test. He's not a test level rugby player.
No.
He's really not. His mind isn't in it. As Pete said, his game management.
Right, he has every tool. He has every tool in the box. He has capability. But
he is to start talking about his tool now, Mike. Now, come on, there's enough. There's enough of that with Scottish players. That gobshite hog.
Okay, and right. What do we? And just on the final point in this Scotland game, what do we think of Scotland appealing it to World Rugby? Were they expecting it?
Ridiculous. Fuck off. Move on. Go away. Fuck that shit.
That's more of it. That's the Finn Russell fan.
Yeah.
Toys out of the fucking pram. Go away. Yeah. Fuck off.
Just in case anyone is wondering, there was a snigger in the middle of that conversation that Peter Martin was on his rant. And the reason being is Darragh Weston has such a way with words. England are going through a bigger transition than Bruce Jenner. I think Borthwick will be out soon. Maybe they'll poach McFargan from Ulster too. And just you can see when the three of us read it, we weren't being rude to people. You know that, Peter. We weren't being rude to. It was just the way. Yeah. Thank Claire, you, Darren.
Sorry, Claire, there's a few more comments there. Just quickly, a win is a win. Irish team job done. Jack did great work on Sunday. Also, last game in France, he gets better. He's only a young gun. Also, Ireland has great young guns players coming up. That's very true. His dad plays for Treviso. Okay.
Oh God, the amount of.
I know. I'm just trying to catch up here. Irish coffee, if he was born here, I think that's about cappuccino.
Yeah.
Frawley for me at 15. Sorry, just one more, Claire. Sorry, don't want to delay it.
No, I don't.
At the Stade Francais game. Sorry, Claire. I noticed at the Stade Francais game how much covering a fullback low does under Nina Barr's defensive system, and he's some boot on him. So he'd be a great help to Frawley. True, very true, very true. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Claire, come on.
That comment I can see, which comes from Shane O'Connor. Russell Fergoyne's number 10 then.
Fuck off.
Jesus. Because of the rants that you both had, right? I'm aware of the time. Sorry, I didn't realise the time. I'm going to have a quick 3-minute synopsis of Wales versus England. Who's seen it?
I saw it, yeah.
Okay, Mike, what do you think?
I thought it was another poorish game. Well, it started off quite well, and Wales are doing a lot better than anybody kind of expected them to do, really. Given the first half against Scotland, but England lads have big issues as well. They're, oh God, I don't know. I think they're dreading us coming to Twickenham, but I hope it turns out to be that way. But we have a game before that anyway. Wales, England. Do you know what? Wales could have won that again. They could have won that game again, but they didn't. And England did close it out. England done what Scotland weren't able to do in Murrayfield. They closed the game out, and they got probably a fortunate score towards the end to do that. So fair play to England. You know what? They're a bit under the cosh at the moment. Poor game against Italy, not a great game against Wales. The game itself was very average rugby at best.
And I think 2 yellow cards for England in the first. I think we're down to 14 in the first 20 minutes.
That's another thing. Their discipline is just out the window. That's something that we need to look at. By the way, we've had 25 penalties in 2 games conceded. That's way too much. But,
Peter Martin, what do you think?
Yeah. Wales are rebuilding. They've one or two. They look to have one or two decent players. Rafael at 7 he's going to be the Lions number 7. He's fucking deadly.
He's
a brilliant player. Brilliant player.
Super player. Wainwright and that ridiculous tash is all action, and he's got some sides. He's got some sidestep. He's a real Gatland favourite. He's around a bit. But look, they've real problems in centre. Like Tompkins is basically, as somebody on Twitter said, he offers nothing more than a shit haircut. They're limited. They're limited. Wales are limited in the centre. Like, who did they put up? They've got George North at outside centre, who's basically, He's a winger. They've tried several wingers at outside centre because they don't have Mason Grady's big lad. But they don't seem to have. They've struggled to find a centre combination, much the same way England can't find, combinations at all. Slade, I thought, had his worst game for England in some time. I always thought he was a classy operator, good footballer, but I think he was poor now against Wales. Look, we'll just see what happens, but England will be hoping to improve, but then Wales will be. They're getting there, I think, perhaps with performances, but it's between themselves and Italy for a wooden spoon for sure.
Sure. Mr. Burke?
Yeah, I think Wales were always up against it, really. They hadn't won there 12 years or something like that. Was the last time they had a go. Wales had no attack structure. On saying that, it was a very underwhelming win for England. I think Felix Jones' attack coaching is very apparent for everyone to see. Any sort of attack that Wales tried to put together, England dealt with it with relative ease. I mean, 2 yellow cards, Chesham on 11, and who was the other one? Roots on 16.
Roots, yeah.
13 players. 13 players.
And then Wales got a card as well.
That's right. Mason Grady on the 70th minute. He was yellow card. So, 3 yellow. Yeah. Anyway, look, it wasn't. It's not really a game I'm interested in talking about because it was fucking shite. It was boring. It was fucking boring. Basically,
it was extremely boring.
Yeah, it was. It was fucking shite. So
that's a roundup of Six Nations. Because we're on break from Six Nations this week, we're back to the URC. Our 4 provinces playing. Three are away and 1 are at home. So we'll start with Friday night's game. Scarlets versus Munster at 7:30 in Scarlets. Who do we think? Bearing in mind that it's international break week. Scarlets or Munster?
I'm going to go Munster by a score.
Okay. I'm going to write this down. I probably won't. I probably won't remember them. I'll find a piece of paper next week. Peter Burke.
Scarlets, Munster away to. I think. Let me see. Sorry, hold on 1 sec, Claire. I'm just trying to find out. Here we go. I'm looking at my app. I'm looking at my app.
Looking into the crystal ball. Right. Looking for help.
No, I'm just looking in the rugby app. Who the fans think will win? 90% think Munster will win. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that easy. Scarlets at home. I don't know. I tend to see Munster have a tendency to pull these things out of the fucking bag when they're not expected to win. They did it there recently, a couple of weeks back or whatever it was, against Northampton. I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be a 1-score game anyway. I think it'd be 7 points max between the sides. And I'm kind of edging towards Munster. Okay,
I'm writing this down now. Here's the thing. I might not find a piece of paper next week, but we have a recording.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think Munster will. They're hoping. I think they were hoping to have Snyman back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, Jaeger's back with them. He's apparently reading an article today. He's absolutely heel ball for games, so I'm sure he'll be given a jersey anyway. Scarlets have a few players involved with Wales, so Munster.
Okay. Next game, Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, Leinster versus Benetton. Bearing in mind the amount of Leinster players that are in the Ireland squad, but could we potentially have a Benetton kind of coming and clipping us because of the Six Nations, or have Leinster got the depth to put out what was classed as a string team but is not? So, Peter Martin, who do you think?
Well, the question I'd be asking is, I don't know what way, like we know under Crowley, basically Italy was Benetton plus one or two others. That's to be based his squad. The squad was based primarily around Benetton. I don't know what happened to the Italians release their players back to their teams during the Six Nations. I haven't a baldy. I'd fancy Leinster, maybe by 10 points. I think all the same.
Peter Burke.
Yeah, it could be a tough game. But yeah, that's at home, isn't it? That's at home. That's in the RDS, isn't it?
It is, yeah, RDS.
RDS 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, Leinster are they're difficult to beat no matter what team they field in the RDS. But Benetton are a good team. That could be a close one. But I still think, I mean, even the what?
I said, stop sitting on the fence and call. Call to him. I'm aware of the time. We're gone over.
Leinster by. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. When do we ever not? Leinster by 10, as Peter Martin said.
Yeah. And Mike Reedy.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, like what the lads have said, I don't know what Benetton team are going to come to Dublin. I don't think it's going to matter. I think Leinster will win it handy enough.
So that's fine. The 5:15 kickoff, Connacht and can we not talk about Gray's Peter Martin? Sorry, Cardiff first. I just seen a thing on. Can we not talk about Gray's big lad Peter Martin? We should keep that kind of talk for when Miss Duffy is hosting. I don't know who said that.
What the?
I don't know what that's about. Right on.
I think it's a joke about the names and how we have the thing about the Kinghorn and Kitsoff and all the jokes we do.
Lad,
Great. So what are we talking?
Sorry, that's just one straight over my head. Anyway,
sorry. I am now on a tangent. Sorry. Cardiff versus Connacht, 5:15 kickoff.
Cardiff versus Connacht.
I think Connacht will win that.
Connacht, okay.
Huh?
Are we all going for Connacht?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then Sunday at 3 p.m. Ospreys versus Ulster in Ospreys.
Mm.
Oh, the other three teams have
what Ulster team is going to turn up?
Yeah, Ulster will have their foot team more or less. They don't have they haven't got anybody away, have they?
Yeah, they've Sherman Kluski, big enough.
Kluski, Tom O'Toole.
Ian Henderson.
They haven't been released back, so.
They're not have any players released back. I don't know then. I think I still fancy Ulster to win that.
It depends, Mike, which Ulster team turns up. That's we said it here. We're fucking blue in the face. We're fucking.
People are complaining that we're not supporting them.
How often? Yeah, exactly. But how often have we all, every one of us here, we've always like are Ulster good? Are they shite? Are we being negative about Ulster? What fucking Ulster team is going to turn up? So you can't fucking predict. No.
Especially not in Six Nations, you can't.
Yeah.
I've just seen a comment there, and I don't know who it's from. 90% of fans think Munster will win. That's about as biased as when a nation once again by the Wolf Tones won the BBC's world favourite song poll back in 2002. I don't know who said it because I can't see the name, but that's fair. I'd love to know where people just pull all the stats from. We're just a fountain of knowledge in this group.
They sit at home like Peter Burke does and does his homework every single night of the week, and then they just basically go blah.
Yeah, no, well, I had a piece of paper that went out the window. Literally, I started with a piece of paper and I was like, woo. And on that note, I'm highly aware that we've gone over time. Never once have we actually stayed on time or under time. No. I'd like to thank you lads for your input tonight. To all our listeners and fans and people on the page, I don't know what to call them. The members. I hope you all I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. And I'll see you next week. And lads, does anyone want to anything else to say before we sign
I'd like
off?
to say thank you very much, Claire. It's lovely to have you back.
1 hour and 4 minutes without Brosnan and Brosnan's pauses.
Yeah.
Thank you, Claire. Well done. Nice job.
Thanks
Yeah.
again, lads.
Great
Cheers,
stuff,
lad.
guys.
All
See
the
you
best.
next week. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
See y'all.
Bye.